Well, hey guys, Kevin the Comic Doctor coming to you with another live CGC unboxing here on YouTube. Today, guys, I have 3 CGC boxes that finally have arrived. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know I've had a whole slew of excitement pertaining to defective slabs. This box took its sweet time getting here. What I mean by that is they were kind of in limbo there for a while, and I'm sure hoping limbo translates into quality control. That's what I'm hoping. Hey guys, I'm Kevin the Comic Doctor. I'm a comic book presser. I'm also an authorized CGC dealer located way up in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. And whenever I get slabs back from CGC, I come on here on YouTube and I show them to you live in a sort of virtual show and tell. And again, guys, these are not my comic books. These are comic books that belong to many of you, my amazing clients. I have no idea whose books are back today. I have so many clients, I can't tell whose or whose. But what happens after I do these shows, and if there's no problems with the books, they go on to the next stage where my lovely daughter Charlie actually goes through them all and she sorts them and puts them all in the proper order. And then I contact you to come pick them up or to have them shipped or whatever. That's kind of how the routine goes. Again, if you're new here, guys, I hope you will consider subscribing to the channel. We talk about comic books. We look at comic book art and covers, obviously. We talk about what's happening in the comic book world and fandom. If you like that sort of thing, I know a lot of you do, hit that subscribe button. And what's awesome about that subscribe button, it allows you to communicate with me. When I go to my trusty chat section, I can see there's a lot of guys over there already right now. We'll go over there. As you know, when my stack gets high, when my comic book stack gets high, I have to repack them. And then that's when I go over to the chat room and talk to all of you. And again, that's a great opportunity for you. If you're one of my clients, actually, if you have any questions or concerns, great time to talk to me about that. That's why I like to come on here at least once a week. Oftentimes it's more than once a week, but again, there's a bit of a pause there with these books. And to be quite honest, I took a little bit of a pause. Now I have about 400 books going out tomorrow and Tuesday. Guess what I've been doing all weekend? Right, packing comic books. So those are all going out this week. I put a little bit of a hold on shipping books out to CGC because of their slab problem. But I have my fingers crossed that this is going to be a good day with no cracks. And that last magazine unboxing I did a few days ago, they were all perfect. So let's see if it happens here too. All right, so let's get going, guys. First up, we have a signature series book. We have a Chris Claremont signed X-Men 244 in a 9.4. And we have a, we have a 9.0. I still have to check for, look at, books come back cracked in the past before they were having their problems. You always have, books coming back once in a blue moon cracked. So I have to still make sure that we're clear there. We've got a Canadian price variant. Oh, and by the way, this is a newsstand copy. Here we've got a Canadian price variant of $139. I always like this book because you know why? Firestar. I love Firestar. And there she is right there. Because I was a geek and I used to watch Amazing Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends back in the early 80s, and Firestar and Iceman were featured in that show, and I love Firestar. Okay, next we have, this is a 18 book order. That was a 2 book order. I think these are Josh's books, if memory serves. Next we've got a whole slew of X-Men books. And let's see what we got. We've got, yeah, they're looking so good. So far, so good. We've got an X-Men 98 and an 8.5. We have a Marvel Spotlight 28 and a 9.4. It's a nice copy for that book right there. We also have another one, number 29, actually. Also a nice matching set here. Got a 9.4, set of 9.4s there. That's kind of cool. Those will display wonderfully together. We also have a copy of Daredevil 168, first appearance of Elektra, and that is an 8.0. I want to know why that's an 8.0. That's a pretty nice looking book. Let's see here. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's a couple of issues there. I can see. Okay. And my stack is high. This is what I was talking about. So now that the stack is high, I'm going to go over to the chat room and see you guys, and we'll get back to these in just one moment. Chat window, there it is. Boom. All right, who do we have? I think we have, at the top here, Lord Thoth was here first. my trusty blue wrench. He says, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Yeah, hit the notification bell, guys. Oftentimes, I don't plan these shows 3 or 4 days in advance. I'd like to start doing that, but with unboxings, it's kind of impossible because I don't know when the books are coming back. But hit the notification bell so when I do decide to go live, I usually give a few hours notice, and you'll be the first to know when I do go live. All right, let's put these away. Nick Parker, your good evening to you, Doc, and everyone else popping in for this unboxing. Thank you, Nick. I hope tonight's unboxing is full of 9/8 and crack-free. Yes, crack-free. Put an emphasis on that, please. Brian Bowman's here. How you doing, Brian? Good to see you. Are these yours, Brian? They might be. Serious Starchild, what's up? The comic rookie is here. How you doing? I think my 181 may be in the box tonight. Serious Starchild, what is your real name? What is your real name, sir? I think I know who you are, but I'm not sure. All these aliases, it's impossible for a guy like me to know. Do you think that you're okay? No, the thumbnail, guys. The thumbnails are totally are stock images. The thumbnails are stock images. Sorry to burst your bubble. I don't take pictures and put them on. They're just stock images. But usually they represent what's in the box. There should be a Hulk 181 somewhere in this box. Why is this not going in? Okay, let's see here. Trying to put this bag back on. Does not want to go back on. There we go. All right. All right, we'll come back to the chat in just a moment. Let's keep going with... So far, these slabs are very clean. I'm not going to say too much about it because I don't want to jinx myself. We've got a Daredevil 158 and an 8.5. Again, guys, 3 boxes tonight. I'm on box number 1 right now. We have a Marvel Secret Wars number 8 and a 9.6. We've got a G.I. Joe number 1 in a 9.0. That's a newsstand copy, I believe. Yeah. A little swig of me water here. We've got a Punisher Limited Series number 1 in an 8.5. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We have an X-Men 105, wow, and a 9.6. We have another X-Men, this is a 108. This one here is in a 6.5. We'll do one more, and I'll go back to the chat. Oh my Lord, have mercy. Woo! I love this book, and I wish I had it in this grade. X-Men 109, first appearance of Guardian, Weapon Alpha, I should say. And it's in a 9.8. It's an off-whiter, off-white to white. Still wouldn't kick that one out of my collection. Thank you very much. Beautiful copy. All right, let me go back to the chat now as I pack these babies up. I had to remove some color touch, so I hope it comes back universal label. Oh, it is you. How are you, Carlo? Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest, but that wasn't yours. Hey, John, how's it going? Hey, Warren, what's up? Brouhaha. Wow, I haven't seen you in a while, Brouhaha. How you doing? Good to see you. Costanza 613. Hello from the States. New to live chat or cast, but watch often. Well, welcome. Welcome, my friend. What part of the United States are you tuning in from? I'm glad you spoke up and said hello. Thank you for coming by. PhD Anubis here. How you doing? Stu McCauley's here. Hey, Kevin. Hey, everyone. Nick says, my fingers are crossed too, Doc, except when typing. I hope not. That'd be pretty interesting. Lord Thoth is laughing at me with my Firestar crush. Okay, what's going on here? Just bumped there a little bit. Just bumped a little bit. Henry's here. Hey, how you doing, Henry from Montreal? How's it going? Spotty, Amazing Friends, Fire. I love that show, man. I was a Saturday morning staple, along with the Incredible Hulk there. Love that. Oh, hey, Jeff, how's it going? Good to see you. Warren says, when are you in the office next? I'm in the office every Saturday from 11 till 1. 11 till 1 every Saturday. There might be some Saturdays here and there in the summer where I'm not going to be there. And that's why I often say, before you come to the shop, always check my Facebook page or my Instagram feed. You know, sometimes I will not be there. I mean, 99% of the time I'm there. But as the summer months rolled around and little, weekends away occur, there will be a Saturday or two I may not be there. Charlo might show up. I don't know. But if he's not, then I'll just close her down. Brian says, other than the Signature Series, these are my books. Please with the mystery or the Marvel Spotlight grades. Thanks, Kevin. Great work. No problem, Brian. I thought they were yours. James is here as well. Hello. Series Star Child is a mystery. Comics with Murdoch says, hey, Brian, when did you submit your books? You guys can discuss. November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, 6 months. It's not bad. Emily Dwyer is here. Do we think Matt's ASM 50 is in tonight? Not sure. Not sure, Emily. Serious Star Show says, nice grade on the X-Men 105. A 109 and a 9.8. Yeah, I take that. All right, let's keep going. I'll come back to the chat momentarily. Got quite a few X-Men here. We've got another 9.6. This one is on issue 110. I'll go back over. I'll try not to forget to transition over like I sometimes do. Another Daredevil 168. I was just checking because I thought it was the same copy, but it's not, and that's also an 8.0. Another 9.8, another 9.8. Ding, 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 ding. We got a 9.8 copy of, and this is a white pager 106 and a 9.8 as well. Beautiful. Got a nice copy of X-Men 100. I love this issue in an 8.5. We've got a 7.5 copy of 102. It's run an awesome early X-Men here. We got 103, also in an 8. This was an 8.5, not also an 8.5, but an 8.5. And we'll do one more X-Men. And we've got an X-Men 104. And this one's also an 8.5. That's what I want to say right there. Okay, the stack is high. So I must take her down. I got about 4 or 5 more books in this first box. 2 more boxes to go. So don't go anywhere, guys. We head back to the chat. Brian's awesome through the 109. Thanks again, Kevin and team. No problem, no problem. Try to do our best. All right, more room over here for these. Constanza, Yonkers, New York. Oh, nice. We spoke some years ago. Oh, I think I remember that. That's right. My cousin just moved to Yonkers, actually. My cousin from overseas married an American man from Yonkers, and I believe they're living in Manhattan now, but I believe they also have a place in Yonkers. So I hope to go there soon for a visit. Nicholas says, Firestar was my crush too from that show. I always will have a weakness for redheads. Well, maybe that's why I have a weakness for redheads. It's all Firestar's fault. And blondes are not bad too, thanks to Ms. Lion. That's getting kind of weird though, so I'm not going to go down that road. All right, what else do we have here? A couple more signature series here, guys. Let's see what we got. We have an 8.5 copy, a newsstand copy. Actually, this is Canadian price variant. Yeah, sorry, it's Canadian price variant of the first Silver Sable in Spider-Man 265. Is it signed by Tom DeFalco? And then we have a 9.2 copy of 263, also signed by Tom DeFalco. And I believe these are Josh's books, because Josh has been the one who most recently sent in some of these Signature Series books. Make sure there's no cracks on those. They look nice. Wow, these slabs are looking really good. All right. A few more here. Can we go to box number 2? We got a Dark Hawk number 1 in a 9.4. And she's looking all right. There we go. We also have Amazing Spider-Man 365, and this one is in an 8.0. Oh, wow, look at this one, guys. I don't even remember sending this in. That's the strange thing. How did I not remember this? 9.6 file copy of Alvin number 10 in a 9.6 from 1965. That's a pretty cool book right there. How did I forget that one? I just don't remember seeing that book. That's really weird. There you go, guys. Box number 1. And guess what? Guess what, my friends? That was the first regular comic book submission returned to me, comic books, with no cracks, no defects, absolutely perfect. Is it over, my friends? Did they fire that bozo who was doing that work, cracking all those slabs for all those months? Is it finally come to an end? I sure as hell hope so. See, you know what? I don't mind waiting a little bit longer if the books come back perfect. And these were all 100%, from what I could see, perfect. Very, very pleased. Very, very pleased. All right, so what I do now, I take all these invoices, I throw it on the top of the box, I close the box up, and I shove her out of the way, and I bring in box number 2. All right, let's go back to the chat and see what you guys are saying first. If you haven't done so already, guys, hit the subscribe button, of course, but hit that like button too. It really does help my analytics here. I want more people to find out about the channel. Come on over here and join in the fun. And the more likes that I get, it kind of gives YouTube the inkling to share the channel with other folks like us. Okay, so if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, that'd be great. All right, thumbnail. Where's my where's my chat window? There it is, right there. What are you guys talking about here? I already see something pretty funny there. Warren says, I scored an amazing collection yesterday, 7,000 books. Wow, congratulations. I wouldn't mind. I have no time for that. I like to find a new collection myself. Who am I kidding? I have no time. Noob says, be cool if there was a few Silver Surfer number 1s, but that unboxing is in August, September. Plenty of time to enjoy others' unboxing. Well, I'm sure we'll have some more Silver Surfer number 1s. It's a pretty popular book. Great X-Men books, Lord Toss says. I agree. Sirius says, Warren, what era is the collection from? And congrats. Nicholas says, look at all those X-Men comics. You might think that mutants are coming on or up or something. Yeah, tell me about it, Costan says, those early 100s X-Men are just awesome. Waiting for a 101. Yeah, one of my favorites too. Starchild says, Darkhawk, the new 181. Some people thought so for a while, but no. Brian Bowman, I did submit a 101 in the same batch, so it should be there. Well, not in this box, maybe in another box. 101 might be in a different tier, right? Might be in a different tier. James Newington says, I like Firestorm. I wish they would put that character in a movie. Same with Speedball. Yes, Firestorm. And oh my gosh. Yeah, I like Firestorm as well. Sunfire. I'm thinking of Sunfire and the X-Men. I love Sunfire too. And there was that cool episode with Sunfire and Firestar, if you guys remember. Nick's is looking like CGC finally kicked their crack habit. Yes, looks okay. Let's see. Second box came with the exact same day. Let's see what we got here, guys. Again, I don't know whose books these are. These could be more of the same or others. Okay, that's really confusing. Okay, that's really weird. Hold on a second. Oh, Okay, no, that's cool. I'll put that over there. All right, first we start us off with, yeah, looks, all right. Looking good. All right, let's get going. We got a Star Wars number 42, Boba Fett, and a 9.4 white pager. Oh boy, look at this. Are these yours too, Brian? I thought you had this in yours, but if it is, you're going to be happy right now. Wow, check this out, guys. 9.8 copy. Number 68, white pager. Jeez. Trying to find the invoices for these. Yeah, there's more X-Men in here. These could be some other X-Men books. Oh, guess what? Your Conan book's in here, Brian. We'll talk a bit about that in a second. And it's kind of good because Carlo's here as well. And similar things happen there. Okay, let's keep going here. We got a 7.0 copy of X-Men 94. Wow. Again, Brian, I don't know if this is yours. If it is, congratulations. 9.2 white pager 101. Very nice. And to go with that, you got a giant size X-Men number 1 and a 9.2. Are these yours? I don't know if these are yours, Brian. I would assume they are. I don't remember if you even had a giant size. Did you? I can't remember them all. I wish I could. There's just too many of you out there. Too many of you out there. All right, next we've got a Werewolf by Night 32. Lower grade copy, but nonetheless, it's still an awesome copy to have in a 3.5. Some beautiful books here, guys. Yeah, I think these are yours, Brian. We got a Fantastic 452 first Black Panther in a 3.0. Yep. All right, check this out. Now this Conan the Barbarian, I'm trying to be all tricky here. This Conan the Barbarian is Brian's book. And we discovered color touch on it. We discovered color touch at the very top and at the very bottom edges. And you can see there, well, maybe you can't, right there. You can see there's some, we basically sanded it out. We sanded it off. And anyways, there you go. Came back a blue label 4.5. So congratulations on that. Sometimes color touch is pretty simple to remove. In this case, it was. And you'll notice, I'll show it to you closely. You're going to see some rubs along the spine. You see those rub marks? All those rub marks had color touch on it. But the color touch was in such a way that it was just on the surface of the cover. It had a bit of color touch in the top corner here as well that did bleed through, so we just basically sanded it away. And as you can notice, all we did is just use a little bit of sandpaper and we just sanded it out, you know? So you get these almost like white blotches, but to me it's better than cutting the pieces right out. Anyways, awesome. 4.5, you got your non-purple label, which makes me very, very happy. Okay, the stack is high. The stack is high. I must go back. All right, here we go. All right. Give YouTube the finger. That's right. Give him the finger, the thumbs up finger. Warren picked up a collection, it seems. He got a good run of amazing, some silver 100s to a 450. Nice. Complete, mostly 80s, 90s, some 70s. Nothing wrong with that. Good for you. The Star Wars are mine, Brian. Congratulations, buddy. That's awesome. Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that. Thanks, Brian. It's a Canadian price variant. 9.8. Beautiful. Brian Bowman. Yes, these are all mine. Had a giant size. Well, there you go. A 9.2. Congrats. That's awesome. I'm assuming they're yours since they're all coming back together, right? Doc, I'm starting to worry. With all these mutants popping up, you might have sentinels knocking on your door. You never know. You never know, right? But I'm not a mutant. So I'm not a mutie, so I'm okay. I don't think I am anyways. Great, the Conan, great, yeah, that's awesome. Serious Star Child. Napur actually worked on that one, Brian. She worked on most of these, and we kind of worked together with the Conan. We kind of, figured out what to do with it, and it worked out well. But she executed it, so she did a good job with that. Serious Star Child, yeah, mind bleed through, but awesome job on the Conan. Happy for you, Brian. Yeah, that's the issue. Now we're gonna, again, I don't know where yours is. I hope yours is here today, Carlo. There's one more box. Maybe it's on its way. And I have more boxes coming tomorrow and on Wednesday as well. But man, I hope it's here because I put that thumbnail on. It'd be pretty much false advertising if it's not on there. But I'm pretty sure it is on the next box. Just getting here now, guys. Look at this beautiful one. 9.8 white pages, Canadian price variant. I'll buy that for $1 all day long. All right. Frankie, how you doing? Good to see you. Warren, I've got lots of Conan. LOL. All right. Okay, let's keep going here. We're almost, no, we're not halfway through. We got through quite a bit of box number 2, but we got quite a few left here. Let me just do one thing here, guys, before we continue. I just want to... And again, these slabs are looking so much better. So obviously they fixed the problem or have gotten on top of the problem. And here we go. Again, I don't know who these belong to, but holy cow, nothing wrong with that. 9.8 copies. Not a Silver Surfer number 1, but is the Fantasy Masterpiece version of it, which is a reprint in a 9.8 white pager. I had a copy of this. And I sold it, and I shouldn't have sold it. We also have a 9.8 copy of X Factor number 6, first appearance of Apocalypse. 9.8. Hit that like button, guys. Do me that favor, please. We also have a copy of X-Men Annual number 14. And this one is in a 9.6 white pager. We have a Gwen Stacy. Okay. I don't know how this book got a 9.8, but it did. And for that, congratulations, whoever you are. Edge of the Spider-Verse number 2. I'm not sure who it belongs to, but I'm just seeing a lot of, maybe you can see a lot of the white ticks on there. And that's a 9.8. You want to see? Here. People get mad at me when I go on here and I say, why is this 9.6 not a 9.8? Well, come on, Kevin, Well, here I'm saying, why is this 9.8 not a 9.6 or a 9.4? I'm not going to mention anybody's name because I don't know who it belongs to anyway, but I don't think you really can see it, but there's a lot of spine ticks on there. I count, and they're color breaking. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I count 5 spine ticks on there, like color breaking spine ticks. So whatever. We've got an 8.5 copy of Star Wars number 4 and an 8.5, like I said. We also have a Black Knight. Wow, these slabs look fabulous. And a 9.6. We also have a Black Panther number 1. And an 8.0. Backtracking. I'll backtrack it. So here we go. 8.0 Black Panther. Put that over here. We've got a Black Knight in a 9.6. We've got a Star Wars number 4 in an 8.5. There's the Spider-Verse I was talking about, the Edge of the Spider-Verse that I think is a little suspect. We've got an X-Men Annual number 14. We have an X Factor number 6, first appearance of Apocalypse at a 9.8. As well as a Fantasy Masterpieces, Volume 2, number 1, first reprint of Silver Surfer number 1 in a 9.8 white pages. And we're going to keep moving here. We've got a Well, look at this. We got a Wonder Man. We got a Marvel premiere featuring Wonder Man in a 9.8 white pager. We've got Jason versus Leatherface in a 9.8 white pages. These are Brad's, I think. These look like Brad books to me, but I could be wrong. We've got Red Room, the Antisocial Network #1 in a 9.8 white pages. We have Friday the 13th, How I Spent My Summer Vacation, #2 in a 9.8 white pages. These are books we don't see too often here. We also have The Devil's Rejects, No Number by IDW in a 9.8 white pages. Aha. Okay, let's pack these babies up. And your Hulk 181 is in the box. I did see it. Let me go over here now. Thanks for everyone liking. Warren is telling me that I was messing up, but I did fix it. I did fix it. All right. Great books, Brian. I'll just fast forward anybody. Okay, no, we're right there. That's okay. All right. No books, Kev. The problem is I don't look at the chat while I'm doing that, so I need a buzzer or something to let me know when that happens. All right. We got another 4 or 5 books in this box and one more box to go. Box number 3. And I'm pretty sure another couple of boxes are on their way back as we speak. All right. We've got a Wizard #1 that I believe belongs to Auntie out in Montreal. And here it is here in a 9.2. It's the Wizard World, the Wizard it's a variant. It's a San Diego Comic-Con edition right here. I'll put that on for you. Boom. Okay. That's Auntie's book. We also have a copy of Leatherface. Leatherface #1 in a 9.8. So these are awesome grades on these horror books. And we've got Rob Zombie's International #1, again in a 9.8. And then finally, I didn't work on this book at all. This book was worked on by Carlo himself. He just wanted me to send it in. I sent it in for him. Now, if you look at this book carefully, Carlo did do a lot of removal. He did a lot of removal, but evidently did not remove enough. And you can have a look here and see Carlo did take away. I need to get a manicure. My fingers are disgusting, but you can see that Carlo did remove a lot of the spine that had, you know, some color touch on it. You know, the only place I can think that maybe there might be some more color touch maybe is right along here. If it zooms in, let me see if I can get a pen here or something. Right along here, the black line looks a little shiny to me. Maybe they put some more color touch on here. But that's the problem, guys. And you know, that's why I don't like to do resto removal myself for people, because I'm not grading the book. And you know, CGC can go to a certain point. They can say, no, we're not going to do it. And that happens a lot where they'll actually refuse a book. I've sent a couple of my own books to CGC to have resto removal done, and they've said, no, we're not doing it. So they send it back. Like when we just saw that Conan the Barbarian book that belongs to Brian, sorry. That one had very superficial color touch on it, and it was kind of easy to remove, and it wasn't bleeding through. Obviously, the color touch on this one bled through, and that's why Carlo did remove the pieces. But then you have that other areas that you may not detect, and that's the problem, and that's the issue. So what do I suggest? What do you do without, you know, destroying the book completely? I'd probably send it to CCS and have them do it. And they may not do it. They may say the book will fall apart if we do, but that would be my next step if you really want to get this one done. Now, that being said, I've been often told by dealers that work with really big books that color touch and restoration, when it comes to lower grade books, does not have as much of a profound effect as it does on higher grade books. So, for example, if you have like this book here, this Hulk 181, but say it were, and I'll put it back on here to so you guys can check it out while I talk about it. But say you had a Hulk 181 and a 9.0, but it had color touch on it. I've been told that with a book like a 9.0 or a higher grade 8.0, even a 7.5, the amount that you must take off of that book in terms of its value or your selling price is significant, like 60-70%, I've been told. So if a book's worth $10,000 and it's a high grade book, but it's got color touch or some other kind of restoration on it, you know, that $10,000 book is now worth $2,500 or $3,000, right? But if that exact same book in a 2.5 costs, say $3,000 or $4,000, the color touch might knock 20% off or 15% off. It's not as drastic of a loss when you're dealing with lower grade books, right? But anyways, that's the way it goes. It's you know, again, it is what it is, right? You only can try. You can only try. Well, that's it for box number 2. Let's see what you guys are saying while I pack these babies up. Lucky box. Oh, by the way, that was box number 2. That was 50 books. No cracks. No cracks. That's the first time, my friends. First time since January, actually. Since January, where I had a full box of perfection. Unheard of. But we still have one more box to go. So we'll see what happens. Before I put it away, let's have a look at this one again. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Serious Star Child says, my guess is 1 to 1.8. Well, you got a 2.5, which is better. Yeah, boo. 2.5 restored. That's all me. What you gonna do? No, you tried, bud. Hey, Robert, how are you? Good to see you. Hulk 181 is still Hulk 181. Love that book. Darn right. Noob says, agree. 181 purple is so much better than no 181 in my opinion. Hey, Kev, have you started my small order? Yeah. Your small order is going in this week, sir. We're starting it this week. Congratulations. Finally. We're starting it this week. I'm going to finish it this week. We're going to start it this week. All right, so here we go. That's the orders. 50 books down, 25 more books to go, and no cracks. If you're just getting here now, no cracks, my friends. But I do notice 42 people are here and only 23 likes. Come on, guys. Do me the solid, won't you? All right, one more box, and I'm running out of water, too. That's not good. And Costanz, yes, the Marvel value stamp is intact on that book. All right, let's see what we got here. Holy cow. I think these are Brian's. They're all X-Men books, this whole box. If you guys like X-Men, you've come to the right place. This is all X-Men books, so I got a feeling these are all Brian's books. And you know what? We have had no cracks so far on this order. Let's hope the same applies. And we're off to a pretty good start with an X-Men 111 and a 9.6. Again, if you're an X-Men fan, don't go anywhere. All awesome X-Men books. Got fireworks going out. I got to get going here, guys. We got a 9.4 on X-Men 112. Got our first 9.8 of the box. 9.8 in X-Men 114, White Pager. All right. Got another 9.4 here. 9.4 X-Men 113. I believe these are yours, eh, Brian? This one is an X-Men 115 with a 9.2. This one does have a very teeny weeny little abrasion, but nothing that I would send back. And a 9.2. That's 115. Yeah, this is a modern X-Men order. This whole box is 25 X-Men books. Yeah, we've got an X-Men number 116 and a 9.4. We've got a first Dazzler here, a 9.0, X-Men 130. And we're going to have to stop because I've run out of space. Yet again, let me go back to the chat so I can clear these babies out. No cracks, fingers crossed. Urban 1211's here. How you doing? Good to see you. Lord Thoughts and X-Men. Whoop, yep. If you like X-Men, you come to the right place. Henry says, hey, Kev. I sent you a load of early FFs last year. You notice FF8 had colored touch. I know it was a lower grade, and we decided not to send to CGC. Should I reconsider? I don't know. Like, if you want it graded to match your other books, I don't think getting it graded is going to actually help the value at all. You know, so I don't know. It depends what your purpose is, right, Henry? Again, if you're displaying all your books and you want to have them all slabbed, then I guess you could do it. If it's for selling it reasons, like in terms of, you know, value, what have you, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. But then again, it's not a lot of money, right? It's going to go through an economy tier, so well, it's not called economy anymore. It's called vintage, I think. But you know, it wouldn't cost a hell of a lot of cash. So I mean, it all depends. But I wouldn't be rushing to get it done, that's for sure. It just depends on what your reasons for getting it graded. To resell it, I wouldn't bother. To put on display, to match your other books, then yeah, I probably would. Brian does confirm they're his. All right, well, we'll continue with Brian's books right now. Stuart says, hey, Kev, what month are you currently working on for pressing and cleaning? We are currently in February. Early February, mind you, but we are in February. And February actually was a bit heavier than I thought it was. We had the show back in February where we picked up a couple hundred books there. But we're hammering through them. We just, you know, Steven's, guys, out of those 400 books I'm shipping to CGC this week, almost 400 of those are Steven's books. And we're finishing up that order once and for all. We were stockpiling those books, and now they're going. They're gone. They're leaving here. So, yeah, that's going to free up getting some smaller orders done. And hopefully we can hammer through February as quickly as possible. I don't think March is quite as heavy. March and April, I don't think was quite as heavy. So February, and then, oh, by the way, guys, if you're going to be in Toronto on June 25th, I will be at the Toronto Comic Book Show taking your submissions, meeting you and taking submissions again. I think Napur will probably be there as well, I think. I'm trying to convince Charlo to come along for the ride, but he, for some reasons, being antisocial, doesn't want to do it. But yeah, so if you're going to be in the Toronto area on June 25th, come on down to the Toronto Comic Book Show, and now sponsored by eBay, I believe, which is pretty awesome. I think eBay is going to be there giving out like coupons and whatever for selling and all that. So it'll be a lot of fun. So make sure you come on down. All right, let's keep going here. I'll come back to the chat in just a second, guys. Let's get through a few more of these books. We got X-Men number 95 and a 9.2. We got an X-Men 96, and this one is at an 8.5. These are some nice grades on these books, actually, guys. We've got a X-Men 97 and a 9.2. We've got an X-Men 141. I've got a great copy of this I've got to send in my own, but again, who has the time for that? The comic doctor doesn't have time to do his own books. That's in a 9.2. It says newsstand copy, 141. And then we also have a 142 matching set in a 9.2 as well. And then we also have an X-Men 123, and that's in a 9.2 as well. And now my stack is high yet again. I will go back and I will transition out of here. Back to chat. Herb says, hey Kev, so CGC no longer requires a minimum of 25 comics for yes, that's what I believe so. I think you can just send one, I think, because I just did a pre-screen order today. Now that pre-screen order had 24 books in it, but yeah, let me do it. So I guess I'm not sure there's a minimum. Is there a minimum, guys? My understanding is there's no minimum, which is pretty cool. Serious Start says only when you like of the pain of a purple label, Henry. Yeah. Look, and that's another thing too. Some guys don't want the purple label because it doesn't match. It doesn't match I have blue, and a purple. It does not match. Green does not match. But you know what? Yellow doesn't match either. So I don't know. But yeah, some guys, they know the book has that purple label. It has an issue, and they're all up in arms over it. So it is what it is. Eric says, how do you get a conserved label versus restoration? I would imagine the conserved grade is viewed more favorably. It is. It's still, don't get me wrong, it's still a knock. It's still not, the book's still tampered with. Conserved. What is conserved? Leaf casting is conservation. Cleaning a book to a certain extent can be considered conservation. There's a few things, right? A lot of these guys that were playing with the blue lights, the LED, the B-LEDs, and trying to lighten the covers. A lot of those books were coming back cover lightened or cover cleaned, and using peroxides. Those were coming back. A lot of them were coming back, if they were detected, conserved. You're best to go over to the CGC website and see exactly what falls under what, but color touch is not conserved. Conserved, like I think clean the staples would be considered conserved, yeah, go check that out. But those are some of the things that would constitute a conserved versus a restoration. Restoration is for sure things like color touch, trimming, color touch, glue, using glue to reinforce the pages, pieces added, tear seals, that sort of thing. That's considered restoration. Okay. I waited 60 years or so. Yeah, you can wait a little bit longer, or whenever you want, man. Whenever you want, Henry. June 25th, Toronto Comic Con or show? It's a show. It's a Toronto comic book show. It's it's in Toronto. It is all comic books. It's not toys. It's not T-shirts. It's not cosplay. It's just comics. It's a pure, Toronto's only real pure comic book show with all the best dealers in basically Ontario. Well, I shouldn't say all of Ontario, Southern Ontario coming by. Sometimes we get guys coming in from, from the East End, but generally speaking, you get guys coming in from my neck of the woods, like from east of Toronto, all the way up to the west end of Toronto, as far as London, Ontario, Hamilton, Ontario coming in, Barrie, that sort of thing, north end of Toronto. But it's a great show. All the regulars are there, and you can find pretty much any comic you could possibly want. And most of the time, guys are there to haggle and have a good time. So come on down if you're in the area. All right, let's keep going here. We have an X-Men 124. Checking for cracks. You never know. In a 9.6. We have an X-Men. Yeah, again, very, very minor, little minor, like millimeter, but again, nothing worth worrying about. That's a 9.0 on this X-Men 125. And then we've got, finally we get a 9.8. Finally, a 9.8 white pager on X-Men 126. That's all right. Okay, another 9.8. Good. 127. 9.8 white pages. Then we got a lower grade one. This is the only real book that's kind of low. It's 128. It's a 4.0. That's the lowest one in the batch, I think. We got 129 and a 7.0. First Kitty Pride. Newsstand edition. All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to pack these ones up. It's kind of high again. All right. So again, guys, we have more books on the way back. I did check the CGC website today, and there are books on the way, which is fantastic. I have two huge mechanical order shipments that are there as we speak. One is being processed. One is still kind of in limbo. Hopefully it won't be a million years. The last couple they did quite quickly. Let's hope this one comes out quickly as well. So get your books back to you sooner rather than later. I am just glad that I will not be spending time this week organizing mechanical errors again. That was such a waste of my time. All right, we got another 5 books to go, and Brian's X-Men collection here. We got another 9.2 copy of not another copy, but issue 117 in a 9.2. We've got a cool Sunfire appearance in issue number 118 in a 9.2. And an 8.0 copy of 119. Got 117, 118, 119. We've got a copy of 120. Alpha Flight's second appearance, I believe. Or first appearance, I think, actually. In an 8.0. And then we got, not bad, we got a 9.6 copy of my favorite of the two. I love this cover. 121. And then last but not least, we've got a 9.2 copy of 122. And again, guys, 3 boxes, no cracks, 75 books. Very, very, very happy. Very, very happy. You know, we saw a lot of Brian's books today. And you'll notice that the majority of his books, they kind of range from 8.5. We had a 4.0 there too, which kind of an offshoot book. But for the most part, the books were anywhere from 8.5. Lots kind of hovered around the 9.2, 9.4, a couple of 9.6s, a couple of 9.8s, few 9.8s, you know. That's very typical of an original collection that belonged to somebody. I believe, Brian, if I remember correctly, you've had these books for a long time, you know. Now, whether you bought them off the stand or if you bought them, you know, from your store as back issues, you know, you stored them all the same way all these years. I've seen this time and time again where, you know, collections will sometimes be, you know, the average will be, you know, around a 9.2 or 9.4, something like that. We have a couple of stinkers and a couple of really nice ones as well too. But this is a very common thing to see. Did I do it again, guys? All right, I'll put these away and show you because they're quite nice. Here we go. Sorry about that. Here we go. So 9.2. There we go. 122. You can tell it's getting late when that happens. The 121 and a 9.6. The 120 and an 8.0. The 119 and 8.0. 9.2 and a 118 and 118. And then 117 also in a 9.2. And it also reminds me of another collection that I've done, and you guys have seen as well, is Peter G. You know, Peter with all the DC books. Now, Peter actually Peter actually bought all his books right off the stand. And, you know, as a kid, he bought them, read them. And the earlier ones are pretty rough. But, you know, as he got into his teen years, he took better care of the comics. And some of those were getting, you know, 9, 9.2, 9.4, whatever. But most of his books were like in the 7.5, 8, 8.5, couple of stinkers, couple of higher ones. But they kind of had a uniformity to the collection because they're his collection. They're books that he's handled, he took care of, and they all restored the exact same way. And I see this as well with Brian's book. Now, luckily with Brian's books, most of these books are over 9.0, which is great, right? The average is over that, which is wonderful. But that is kind of what you see here. Now, had they not been worked on, had they not been pressed, what will kind of the average be? Probably the average of these books, if they were not worked on, would have been probably in the 8s, like 8, 8.0, maybe 7.5, some 7.5s, you know, in that range. A couple of 9s probably, as they would have, you know, been, but you know, pressing does work, my friends, and it's something. If you are considering having your books graded, it's a must. You have to do it nowadays. It just makes all the difference in the world. And again, I you know, I'm on here. People send me books and get to see me on here. Again, this is not necessarily an advertisement for it. Ends up being that way, but there are a lot of good pressers out there. You know, if you're hesitant in sending books to a presser, look in your go ask your local comic book store. I'm sure they know people that do. Maybe they do it themselves. Try them out and see. It does work. It's in your best interest before you send your books out to CGC or to CBCS or to whoever you'd send your books to. Make sure that they're worked on, you know, and get them done. It does make a difference. And Brian says, yeah, they were my childhood books. So there you go, right? And you can see that again. What I'm trying to say is you didn't see a lot of, you know, 2.5, 6.5, 4.5, 9.0, 8. You didn't see it. It wasn't all over the place, right? It wasn't like, you know, it was a pretty consistent level of books. You know, it was kind of like this. It was kind of, the line was kind of like this. If you had to do like a bar graph, you know, there was that one 4.5, but there was also a couple of 9.8s too, right? It spiked up. That is totally normal. And it's cool to see that, to be honest. You can tell it's a one-person collection. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for coming out. And thanks to Lord Thoth for being here, actually, and being my moderator. I do appreciate that. I know Lord Thoth is over on Robert Meyer Burnett's channel too, and he comes over here too. I guess you migrated here from there, and I'm glad you did, because I like to have a blue wrench handy. And Brian also says, I bought most of them off the stand, and yeah, the team did an awesome job. Thanks. Oh, you're very well. Thank you for the compliment. I certainly do appreciate it. Yeah, guys, like I said, more comics are on their way back as we speak. I'll probably do another show, probably midweek if I can. I'd like to get I wouldn't mind pressing some books this week. I didn't do a hell of a lot the last couple of weeks thanks to those mechanical errors. So I'll get back to that. You know what? Have a great rest of your week. I know it's Monday. It feels like it's Sunday still, but have a great start to your week. We'll see you very soon. And if you have any questions about comic book pressing, comic book collecting, the CGC process, never hesitate to reach out. Send me an email, give me a call, throw me a text, whatever. Happy to answer any questions I can if you have those questions to ask. All right, guys, until next time, all the best to you. Take care. I'm looking for my end thumbnail as I always do. Have a wonderful night. And until next time, all the best. Bye now.